Madden NFL 2005 is one of the greatest sports video games of all time. This game released during the prime of EA Sports, and it was arguably the peak, as this was the last Madden to face any competition. Whether you bought ESPN NFL 2K5 or Madden NFL 2005, you ended up with a fantastic game regardless. While the PlayStation 2, original Xbox, GameCube, and PC versions of this game were highly praised for having fantastic gameplay and immense depth, there were actually other versions of Madden 05. Do you remember the Tap Wave Zodiac? There was a Madden 05 port for it, and there is zero footage of it online. One day, I will get one of these and bless the world with Madden 05 for the Tap Wave Zodiac footage. The Nintendo DS and Game Boy Advance also received unique Madden 05 ports, but there was one last version of this game that I find puzzling. That would be Madden NFL 2005 for the PlayStation 1, the last Madden game to release for the console. I recently made a video covering the last NFL Game Day title, NFL Game Day 2005, which released exclusively for the PlayStation 1. Perhaps EA released Madden 05 for the original PlayStation to compete with that game, because otherwise, I have no idea why this game exists. Madden NFL 2005 for the PS1 is the exact same game as Madden NFL 2004 for the PS1. It was quite literally just a roster update. The menu design, the gameplay, the game modes, it was all identical and looked identical. But it goes further than that. Madden NFL 2003 for the PS1 was also the exact same game. How deep does it go? Madden NFL 2002 was also the exact same game. Madden NFL 2001 was nearly the exact same game, but it was missing a couple game modes. So Madden NFL 2002 was the last PS1 Madden to receive any changes beyond a roster update from the previous titles. This makes sense, as the PlayStation 2 games became the main focus, and there was only so much they could add to a PS1 game at this point. Before realizing that Madden 05 for the PS1 was just the last in a long line of copying and pasting, I was actually impressed by it. Not only did it have a play editor, a decent franchise mode, and solid gameplay, just like the NFL Game Day titles, but it also had Create a Team, an educational mode called Coach's Corner where John Madden would teach you football, and even a retro mode called Madden Classic, which was a port of the Sega Genesis version of Madden 92 with updated rosters. For a PS1 game, this was pretty deep, and with 2004 rosters, I would consider Madden 05 to be the version to play. I was at first confused as to why no publication seemed to have reviewed this game, but it makes sense now. This was just Madden 02 with Madden 05 rosters. But this is also one of the rarest versions of Madden. Let's take a deeper look, and consider this a review of Madden 02 through 05 for the PS1, since they are basically the exact same game. Before diving into Madden 05, I noticed something strange about Madden 02 for the PS1. The intro, when booting it up, shows clips of the PlayStation 2 version of the game. Seems a bit misleading, considering you go from this to this. Madden 05 had no intro, it just sends you right into the main menu. Game modes include Exhibition, Season, Franchise, Custom League, Tournament, Coach's Corner, Situation, 2-Minute Drill, and Madden Classic. There was also Create a Team, a play editor, Madden cards, and the NFL record book within the main menu. That's actually quite a lot for what is essentially a 2001 PS1 game. Exhibition and Season mode are pretty self-explanatory. Custom League was almost the same thing as Tournament mode, except you could have an odd number of teams. Instead of a bracket-type schedule, it was more like an NFL season with less teams. Coach's Corner was a cool mode where you'd pick a play, and John Madden would explain how it works, show you how to properly execute it, and then you'd get to practice it yourself. This was also in the PS2 Maddens from this era, but it was nice to see on the PS1. Situation mode is something I'd love to see in modern sports games. Set up a custom game with custom parameters, such as the fourth quarter of a close game with 10 seconds left. You could also select a pre-made situation with great games. These were iconic NFL games from history that you could unlock by completing Madden challenges. This was basically the earliest version of Madden moments, something I'd love to see return in modern titles. 2-Minute Drill was essentially a fun minigame where you tried to get as high of a score as possible within 2 minutes. Madden Classic was a port of the Genesis version of Madden 92, but with updated rosters and teams. This was an awesome throwback for longtime players of Madden, and it's reminiscent of newer NHL games including NHL 94. I love retro game modes like this. Franchise mode was decently in-depth for the PS1. It wasn't on the level of the PS2, but it had all the basics: NFL history, stats, records, trades, contract negotiations, drafting, it was all there. I found it comparable to Game Day 2005's franchise mode. It was nothing special and feels pretty bare bones today, but you really couldn't ask for much more than that on the original PlayStation. The play editor is also nearly the same as Game Day 05's. Select a formation and then set a custom route or blocking assignment for every player on the field, and then test it against the defense. Again, I would love to see this in modern sports games. One thing these PS1 Maddens had going for them over Game Day was Create a Team. It was surprisingly in-depth for its time, and even modern day Madden games don't have anything similar. I've seen the argument online that the NFL doesn't allow it anymore, but that's not true. I've talked with numerous sources inside EA Sports over the years, and all of them have said the mode would be allowed. The NFL would have to approve each logo, just like they approve the relocation team designs right now. But there is nothing stopping EA from allowing players to swap logos and customize uniform designs using preset logos and colors. Seeing this feature in a PS1 Madden makes it all the more frustrating that it isn't in a PS5 Madden. So Madden 05, or 02 Part 3, was actually a pretty deep game for a PS1 game. But how was the gameplay? For its time, it was very solid. Helmets could fly off after big hits. Besides that, pretty standard stuff. Running and passing was pretty easy, and I actually found this game easier to pick up and play than Game Day 05. The AI was decently smart, and tackling animations looked pretty good for the time. I prefer the more complex gameplay in Game Day 05 to this, but both games are solid options for the PS1. If you're bored and want to play something unique, or you want to easily emulate a Madden game on a really bad computer or your phone, this game is worth your time, but it's not going to blow you away. There really isn't too much to say about this. It's Madden 02 with Madden 05 rosters on the PS1. That's it. There's nothing poetic to say here. If you want to see more of this game and other versions of Madden 05, check out this excellent video by Spanky G, which I linked in the description. Thanks for watching.